Hello guys, welcome to the next lecture. In the previous lecture we have seen how we can create one REST endpoint so that we can register the student, and we have also tried that REST endpoint by hitting it through this postman. Now we are going to see how we can hit this REST endpoint through the Angular application. So in this video we are going to see how we can create this kind of design and how we can create this kind of form so that we can register the student. So let's see how to do this. Now I am in my Visual Studio Code, and we have already seen how we can create these student dashboard text and how we can use these container and card bootstrap classes. So let me show you how currently these Angular UI is visible. So as you can see, we are able to see these student dashboard and we are able to see this card as well. Now below these text we need to create one form which will take all these values from the user and which will send these values to the backend so that backend can store all these values. So let me show you how we can do this. So over here we need to take one card again. So let me type dot card. So I have already told you how to create the classes by using these shortcuts. So card is one class, so let me hit the enter, and inside these let me write some dummy text. So lorem ipsum is dummy text. So let me save these and let me go to my browser again and let me refresh these. Now as you can see, the second card is visible. So we need some margin from these top right. So we need to use again one bootstrap class called as empty5, which means margin top 5. So we can give value 1 to 5 to these. So let me save these, let me go to browser again, and as you can see, there is some margin in between these two classes. Now let me remove these and let me take one form inside this. So for the form we need to type form and we need to remove this action because we don't need this action in the Angular. And inside this we need to take all the necessary fields. So the fields which we need are this name, address and percentage, because we are going to send this name, address and percentage to the backend. And inside this form we need to take all those three fields. So let me show you how you can take these fields. So here we can use some bootstrap classes. So for that we have one bootstrap class called as a form group, and inside this we can write all these input fields. Now over here we need to, let me take one label for name, and over here let me type student name like this, and after that we need to take one input field. So input type is equals to text, and name of this field will be the name and ID of this field will the name itself. So let me show you how it looks like. So let me save these and let me go to the browser and let me refresh these, and here as you can see it is taking the input field. But if you observe, there is no any styles to this input field and it is looking quite odd. So let me apply some styles over here. So let me go to the browser again and let me go to this input field and let me apply one bootstrap class called as a form control. So let me type class form hyphen control. So these are the all bootstrap classes. So let me save this file, let me go to the browser again, and here as you can see there is some style to this input field. So let me apply some placeholder, and if you observe there is no any padding to this label and input field, so we need to apply this padding as well. So let me go to the Visual Studio, let me first of all go for placeholder. So placeholder will be like student name, and for this padding we need to go for this class, and over here let me apply some style. Padding is equals to 20 pixels like this. Now let me save these and let me go to the browser again and let me show you how it looks like. Now it is looking quite good. Now over here we have to understand one concept called as a forms inside the Angular. Now inside the Angular there are two kind of form. One is like reactive form and second one is called as a template driven form. So template driven form is quite simple as compared to the reactive form, because in the reactive form we have some large concepts, not large concepts exactly, but in reactive form we need to write some code for it. Like we need to first of all understand and we need to write code for it. Like it allows some custom validations, it allows some customization into the form. On the other hand, template driven form is quite simple. So as per our requirement is quite simple. Like we just need to take some input values and we need to send it to the backend. So requirement is quite simple, so we can go with the template driven form. And again, I do not want to make this video more complex, so I am just writing some line of code. You just need to follow this line of code, and as per my understanding and as easy as I can, I will try my best to explain all those concepts. So inside the form we need to write some code. So let me write first of all code, and after that I will try to explain this code. Register and the brackets. Now let me first of all try to explain what is this. So hash register form is a name of this whole form. That means we are just assigning one name to this form. So hash register form is a name of this form. The ng form is like we are just telling to this Angular application like this is a kind of form. And ng submit means whenever we will click on submit button, then it will call this register method. So we have not created this register method till now, but I will show you how we can create this. But as of now I just wrote these lines. Now again we have given this form name as a register form, but again we need to give these input fields at one single name, because we are just specifying this form. So we need to specify that this particular name field is part of this register form. So for that again we need to write first of all hash name and then ng model is equals to name. So let me try to explain what are these. So hash name is the name of this particular field. ng model, by writing this we are specifying that this particular field is a part of this form, and name is a field, means name is a name of this particular field. So now it might confuse, like we are just taking this name, and over here we are also taking the name. So let me try to tell what are those. So these name and id are the properties of HTML, and these hash name and ng model are the properties of Angular. So Angular will not be able to get that these particular name and id, so that's why we need to specify this name and ng model. So by writing this we are just telling the Angular like this particular field is part of this register form. So don't need to make it very complex, just keep it as simple as we can, and as per the practice we will able to get all those things. So let me save this file and let me go to the browser and let me show you what are these. Now over here we will not be able to see this form field because we caught with one error. So let me show you what is this error, and let me inspect these, and here you will find one console. So you just go to the console, and over here you will find this export of name ng form not found. So this is why, because we have not imported these form modules. So let me go to the Visual Studio, let me go to this app.module.ts file, and over here inside this imports array let me import forms module, and let me save this. So this forms module comes from this @angular/form. So in any case, if it is not be able to import this, then you will need to write this line explicitly. So let me save this file, let me go to the browser again, and let me refresh this. Now here as you can see, I am again getting some error. So the error is quite same. So it is saying like it is not be able to find this ng form. So this is because in these ng form, the F is a capital, so I just misspelled in these forms. So let me go to this file, let me correct the spelling, and let me save this again. Let me go to the browser, and here as you can see, now error is vanished. Now we are successfully able to take these name field. So similarly, we need to take two different fields, like one for the percentage and one for the address. So let me copy this div as it is, and let me paste here, and let me change all these values. So this field will be for student address, so let me type it as address, and the name of this field be address. ng model will be the address. This should be same as this, that means this ng model name should be the same as this one. The name again will be the address, and id again will be the address. And over here, let me change the placeholder. So let me go to end of this file, then this will be the student address. So let me save these, let me go to the browser, let me show you how it is looking like. And here as you can see, we have to just name and address. And similarly, let me take one input field for the percentage. So let me copy this div again, and let me paste it over here, and let me change this student address to the student percentage, and this input type will be the number, because percentage is number, and this will be the percentage. I will show you why I'm just taking this particular name and I'm not taking the different names in a moment. So let me type this percentage. ng model will be the percentage again, and name of this field will be the percentage again, and id of this will be the percentage again, and class will be the same, and placeholder will be the student percentage, like this. Now let me save this file, let me go to the browser again, let me show you now how it is looking. Now we have all these three fields, and over here we need one button at the end, so that we can, whenever we click on it, it will call the REST endpoint and it will save all the details. So let me take one button over here. So let me go to the Visual Studio Code, and again over here let me copy this div, and let me paste it over here. And we just don't need all this label and input field, so let me remove this. And here we just need input type is equals to submit, so we need to take type is equals to submit, and we just need to remove this value, or we just need to give the value as register, like this. So let me save this file, let me go to the browser again, and let me show you how it looks like. Now here as you can see, there is one button called as a register, but here this button has no any styles and all. So let me apply some bootstrap classes so that I can so that it will look some more obvious. So let me apply some classes. So let me go for here, class is equals to btn, which means button, and button primary. So button primary means it will take this button as a primary color, that means blue color. So you can go to the bootstrap website and you can find different classes for it, like button primary, button secondary, and button danger, which will be used for some like delete actions, which shows like it is a dangerous action. So let me save this file again, let me go to the browser, let me show you now how it is looking like. Now as you can see, it has some styles. So now what we want this register button to acquire the whole field. So let me apply some width over here. So let me go to the Visual Studio Code, and for this we need to apply one apply one class called as a w100. So let me save this, and let me go to the browser again, and let me refresh this, and here as you can see, it is acquiring the 100% width. So this w100 means width and 100%. So now we have form ready, we have all the styles ready. We just need to take these values and send these values to the backend. So let me show you how we can do this. So for that, whenever there is one situation where we need to hit one REST endpoint, then we basically go for services. So what are the services? So services is a kind of like collection of all the methods which returns the HTTP calls, and by using those calls we can hit the REST endpoint. So let me create first of all services, and let me show you how we can create that service. So inside this terminal, let me first of all go for new terminal, and over here let me type cmd, and again inside this let me type ng gs and service name. So service name will be the student, and let me hit the enter. And meanwhile let me explain what is this. So ng is Angular, g means generate, s means service, and student is the name of this service. So that means we are telling the Angular like we need to generate one service called as a student, so it will automatically generate the service. So let me wait couple of seconds. Now here as you can see services are created, and over here you will find these new files called as student.service.spec.ts and student.service.ts. Now we just need to go inside this student.ts service.ts, and again here we just need to inside the constructor we just need to inject HTTP client. So just write from private HTTP and then HTTP client, and over here as you can see I am getting one error. So this is why, because it is not be able to find this HTTP client. So for that we need to import the HTTP client. So first of all we need to go into this forms.module.ts, and over here we just need to import HTTP client module, and this HTTP client module comes from @angular/common/http. So let me copy this import line and let me paste it, and let me copy this HTTP client module over here, and let me change these values like @angular/common/http like this. Now let me save this file, and let me go to the service end again, and let me try to import this. Now here as you can see it is able to import. So we just need to import this, and it is coming from this HTTP client again from @angular/common/http. So this is quite complex to understand for the first time. So you just don't need to worry about this complexity. Just follow all these steps, and you will be able to get what are these things exactly at the end of this course. Now we have injected this HTTP client, and let me create one method. So the method name will be like public register student, and what it will do, it will take student data as a parameter. So let me type student data as a parameter, and inside this we just need to return HTTP observable. So just need to write return this dot HTTP. The call is post, because we are going to hit the REST endpoint which has post mapping. So for that we just need to write post, and over here we just need to write the API path. So API path is a localhost 9090 in my case. So in your case it might be different. So let me go to the Postman and let me see what is the path exactly. So let me copy this localhost 9090 and let me go to the Visual Studio again, and let me take one variable. So here the variable name will be the API is equals to localhost 9090. Now let me save this, and over here let me type this dot API plus. So here the localhost 9090 is a host and port, but again inside this we can have multiple paths like /register user /get user and delete user, anything. So in this case we have path like /register student. So let me copy this and let me paste this into this Visual Studio code. So let me paste this over here. So make sure that you are just giving the slash. So this .api plus register student. So this is the path, and again we need to send the data. So data that we are trying to send is a student data, and now the service end is ready. So let me format this code and let me save this file. Now let me go to the module.ts, that is let me go to this HTML file, and over here we have just told that we will create this register method. So let me create this register method inside this app.component.ts. So let me come to this file and let me create one method called as a register. So let me remove these double quotes and register. So this will be the method which will get called when we click on this submit button. Now over here what we are going to do, we are going to call this particular service which we have already created. So that means register student. So for this, to call this service register student, we need to import this, or we need to inject this service. So how we can inject? We just need to take one constructor, and inside this constructor we can inject this service. So let me write private student service and student service like this. Now we have injected the student service. Now inside this student service we have our REST endpoint, or we can say that we have our call to the REST endpoint. So let me type student service dot register student. Now this register student is complaining that it needs some data, because we have promised to this method like we will send this student data as a parameter. So we just need to take this we just need to send this student data as a parameter to this method. But how the data will come to this particular place? So over here inside this app.component.ts, what we will do, we will send all the form data as a parameter to this register method. So over here let me just copy this register form and let me just paste it inside these brackets. So by this we are just passing this register form data to this particular method. Now let me come to this app.component.ts. Let me type register form here again, and over here let me type this register form dot value. So let me tell you why we are just taking as a value, because this register form will contain different data about the that particular form, like whether it is touched, whether it is like whether it has any errors, whether it has any other, like there are many properties, but the properties only in which we are interested is called as these particular values. Then that means we are just interested in form values and not other values. So let me just take this as a dot value, and over here let me subscribe to this HTTP call. So we're just to subscribe to this HTTP call, and again inside this, if we got any response, then that means we have successfully inserted all the values. So let me type this console.log response, and if in case we got any error, then let me also handle this error. So let me just take this variable called as error and console.log error like this. Now the code is done. So these subscribe and all these things, if you are new to Angular, then you don't need to worry about that. Just follow this step, and if you already know, then that's good. Now let me go to the browser and let me try to hit this method called as a register. So let me save all these files. Let me go to the browser and let me fill some values, like here as you can see, I will fill value called as a Raj, and address will be the Mumbai, and percentage will be the 87, and let me click on register. But before clicking the register, let me open the console so that we will get to know if there is any error or there is any positive response or anything else. So let me open this console. Now let me click on this register button. So now here, as you can see, we are not be able to hit this REST endpoint because it is showing like access to XML HTTP request at localhost 9090/register student from origin blah 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 has been blocked. So this is why, because of the Spring security. So to configure the Spring security, we need to go to these Eclipse, and we just need to go to the student controller, and over here we just need to type @cross origin, and inside these like allow headers will be the star, and then it will be like have another value called as origins. Then let me give it as a star again. Now let me save this and let me start the service, or let me start the run the application. So let me go to the student application and run as Java application. Now it will run this application. So now here, as you can see, the application is started and it is running on port 9090. So make sure that the port is 9090 or 8080, whatever it is, but make sure that whatever port it is, you are just in your service, you are just giving or specifying that port itself. So in my case it is 9090, so I am just giving 9090. And over here let me write HTTP : then /localhost 9090. So why I am just writing HTTP and /, because at the end of this Eclipse end, this Spring Spring security will not allow this without this HTTP. So it will not allow this Angular application to hit that REST endpoint without this HTTP. So now let me save this and let me go to the browser again, and let me try to fill some values. So let me quickly fill values like address is Mumbai and percentage is 87. Let me click on the register, and now here, as you can see, we are able to get the response. So here if you see, address is Mumbai, name is Raj, percentage is 87, and roll number is a 1. So if you remember, the roll number is a auto generated value. In the last lecture we have seen how we can auto generate this roll number. So now let me go to the MySQL console and let me write the select star from student, and here, as you can see, there are some values. So in previous lecture we have seen how we can create the database and how we can create these tables, entity classes, and all those things. So it will be very helpful if you are watching this video after that video only. Now let me again create some values over here. So let me minimize these, or let me close this console. Let me change these values. So let me write like Sonali inside the Pune, and inside she has like, let's say 90%, and let me click on register. And after that, let me go to this MySQL console and let me select star from. Here, as you can see, there are some values which we have already sent from this particular form. So what we want actually, whenever we click on register, and if the call is successful, then we just want that we need to clear all these fields. So how we can do this? We can just make sure in these app.component.ts we can write like, if we got the response, then register form dot clear. We can just call this clear method, and over here we can just use ng form. So don't worry about this, I will explain all these things. So let me save this, and over here it is complaining like clear method is not present, so let me check for any other. So we need to call reset method like this. Let me save these changes. Let me go to the browser again and let me write some values, like name will be the like Harsh, address will be the like Kolkata, and percentage will be the 98. Let me click on register, and now here as you can see all the values got vanished. So this is why, because we have wrote the logic like if the call is successful then erase all these values. And let me go to the MySQL again and let me select star from. Here as you can see there are some values which we have entered through this application. So this is how we can create web application, or this is how we can design one form so that we can take the values from user and we can send it to the backend. So here we have covered the first operation from the CRUD series, which is the create. So we have seen how we can create the backend and how we can create the front end for create operation. So in the next video we will see how we can show all these student data below these registration form. So for that, if you do not want to miss those videos, then you need to subscribe to my channel Learn Programming Yourself. So thank you for watching this video and subscribe to my channel Learn Programming Yourself.